Coworkers who tell you what to do piss me the hell off. Are you really sure you want the flyers on the right side of the register? Linda leaned over, notebook in hand, her tone impatient as she pointed at the neatly arranged counter. I looked up at her, calm and steady. Yes, I'm sure, Linda. This isn't your concern. Focus on your own work. She frowned, hardly believing what she heard. Are you talking back to me, Steve? You know saying that could upset the manager. I leaned against the desk, voice low and firm. I'm not talking back. I'm stating facts. Every so-called reminder, every private critique you've made about coworkers, I've been documenting it all. Her face twisted. You're humiliating me. You're trying to make me look bad in the office. I replied evenly. I'm not humiliating you. I'm letting the facts speak. If you truly cared about the team, you wouldn't be pulling people aside behind the scenes and stirring conflict. Her voice began to tremble as she slammed her hand on the desk. You're causing conflict. You don't understand office politics. I smiled faintly. Conflict? The real conflict is what you've created. I'm just revealing it. A few days later, HR's Anna called me in for a private conversation. She whispered, Steve, are you ready for Linda's pushback? She may claim you have a bad attitude and are stirring office conflict. I nodded. I've organized all emails, Slack messages, and meeting recordings. Everything is timestamped and documented. Anna reviewed the files, her expression serious. You've done an incredibly thorough job. These records are nearly court grade. I said softly. Facts are the most powerful weapon. During the investigation, Linda clearly avoided me. She no longer publicly criticized me in meetings, but she still tried to influence colleagues behind the scenes. I discovered this and submitted her actions anonymously to HR and an external consultant, including the full evidence chain. Suddenly, the office atmosphere grew tense. In the lunch area, whispers circulated. Did you see that email? Linda's private messages got exposed. What is she trying to do? The board noticed the impact and launched an independent review of team culture and management behavior, bringing in external consultants for analysis and interviews. The consultant asked me privately, Steve, why remain anonymous? I replied, anonymous disclosure lets the team see the facts first, not just one person's side of the story. The consultant nodded. We'll protect witnesses, but the review is transparent. Everyone will be interviewed. Over the next few weeks, tension in the office peaked. Linda, like a trapped animal, kept glancing at me with unease and hostility. In one meeting, she sneered, You really think this will let you control things? I stayed calm. I'm not controlling anything. Facts let the team decide who to trust. She ground her teeth. You're humiliating me. I pointed to the meeting records. Not humiliating, facts. You can't deny them. HR and the consultants recorded everything diligently. The air in the room felt taut, like a drawn bowstring. Ultimately, the board decided Linda would receive a formal warning, participate in 3 months of management training, have some authority temporarily removed, and publicly apologize to the team. Her apology, though compliant, did not regain trust. At work, she became cautious, learning to listen in meetings and reduce behind-the-scenes manipulations. The team slowly started to recover. Employees became willing to communicate again rather than suppress concerns. During lunch, George said to me, Steve, you really changed the office vibe. Nobody dares meddle in others' work anymore. I nodded. Facts and boundaries are more powerful than any control. Months later, the external consultants submitted a final report. Employee satisfaction had risen significantly, collaboration improved, and the management publicly praised the team, emphasizing transparency and evidence. I was appointed to the Communication Improvement Group to oversee implementation of these changes. Linda, though superficially changed, remained cautious. Any attempt to manipulate was suppressed. One afternoon, she came to my desk, voice trembling. Steve! I'll follow the checklist you gave me. I'll change. I looked at her calmly. Change is action, not words. You have 3 months to show evidence. She lowered her head, eyes glistening with tears. I said nothing more. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, New York streetlights spilled into the office, crowds bustling outside. I knew the road ahead would remain long, that the temptations of power and control would persist. But as long as someone dared to put facts on the table and systematically enforce boundaries, the team had a chance to improve. This victory wasn't dramatic humiliation. It was lasting change brought by facts and evidence, teaching those accustomed to controlling others that accountability matters. That power must operate within boundaries. I knew this was far more valuable and sustainable than simple punishment. Linda began handling interactions cautiously. Every hesitant step, every careful word, felt like her acknowledgement of past mistakes. In review meetings, she silently listened to colleagues, stopped interrupting, and no longer pulled people aside. I observed quietly, a subtle smile on my face. She had finally learned to respect boundaries. In the break room, George whispered. She's careful now, doesn't dare boss people around. I replied. Exactly. Facts and boundaries speak louder than authority. A few days later, word spread to other departments. Managers observed our culture shift. Some senior executives privately asked me, Steve, how did you get the team to communicate transparently? Linda's behavior is completely under control now. I said simply, facts and boundaries. During lunch, Linda approached, voice low and uneasy. Steve, can you help me with something? I looked at her steadily. Help you? First, you need to prove you're ready to change your behavior. She bit her lip and nodded. I'm willing, I said flatly. Then prove it to everyone, not just me. She retreated cautiously, each step heavy, as if acknowledging her own mistakes. The board soon held a departmental culture feedback meeting. All employees were present. Linda had to apologize publicly and acknowledge her past manipulations. Blushing, she whispered, I mishandled things before, caused trouble. I will change. I nodded quietly, knowing this wasn't just lip service. The power of facts left her no room to deny. Over the next 3 months, I continued monitoring her behavior, documenting any deviations, ensuring she genuinely completed her training and corrected her actions. Employees began speaking up naturally. Meetings were no longer stifled, and information flowed freely. Linda weighed her words carefully in every meeting, attempting constructive input but no longer interfering with others. Colleagues whispered, See Linda? Now she speaks cautiously. I sat in the corner with coffee, quietly observing the office transformation. The external consultant's final report showed significantly higher employee satisfaction and improved team efficiency. Management praised the team, emphasizing transparent communication and evidence. I knew this victory wasn't only mine, it was a cultural shift, a lasting force. Linda's anxiety persisted. Any thought of manipulation was suppressed. Every cautious word was her acknowledgement of past missteps. I no longer had to intervene, facts and evidence had restrained her. Every tremble, every bowed head reflected her self-correction. This kind of victory, deeper than dramatic humiliation, showed the team that true power comes from facts and transparency, not private manipulation or intimidation. As Manhattan's night lights spilled through the windows and traffic flowed endlessly, I sipped my coffee, feeling an unspoken satisfaction. Facts and transparent communication had changed the office irreversibly. This wasn't revenge, it was a decisive correction of power misuse. Every employee saw that change wasn't superficial, but structural. Linda's trembles and hesitation were the natural consequences of her past behavior. Team operations flowed smoothly, information passed freely, and transparency held the balance, while I simply watched, knowing it was the result of careful planning.